Welcome back to GM Vision. Today we're going to be going through our Week 8 picks, predictions, and best bets. We had a pretty solid Week 7, going 12-3. That brings our current record to 74-33. We also went 5-1 on props. That brings us to 8-1. We also went 3-1 against the spread last week, bringing us to 7-4. If you want to keep up with our picks and the success we're having with some of these bets, please like this video and subscribe. We drop our picks and our picks against the spread in this video, but since this gets posted earlier in the week, the prop bets will be in the comment section down below later in the week. With that being said, let's get straight into the picks. Alright, so we got Thursday Night Football. We got the Vikings traveling to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. These are two teams that have struggled a little bit as of late, but have some good pieces and are looking to stay in contention for a playoff spot. This game is a little tricky with injuries. We will have to keep an eye on it to see who plays for both of these teams, specifically for the Chargers along their offensive line. A key factor in this game is going to be Justin Jefferson. The Vikings know that if they want to get their offense going, it's going to have to go through Justin Jefferson. The run game with Jordan Mason is hit or miss, and this Chargers front is pretty talented. And when looking at the run game, it's really a huge factor for both teams. Both teams are able to throw the ball pretty well, but it's really going to come down to both of their run games. Obviously, the Chargers are missing their running back, Marion Hampton, and they're relying on running back by committee. And the Vikings haven't really been able to run the ball well with Jordan Mason as of late. So I think that's where either team could get the edge in winning this game. But when looking at that, if they can't get either run game going, we're going to have to stick with the Chargers and Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is obviously the superior quarterback in this matchup. He has a lot of weapons at his disposal in Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, and Gadsden, their tight end that just had a great game. We are going to pass betting-wise because there's too many question marks in this one. But we are going to lean with the Chargers, getting a win at home on Thursday Night Football. Okay, so now moving on to the Miami Dolphins traveling to Atlanta to play the Falcons. When talking about this matchup, the Dolphins are just in a terrible spot as a team right now. They had drama to end last season with Tyreek Hill saying he didn't even want to play for the team anymore. They had drama leading all the way up to the season and now drama during the season. And if you're Tua, you can't call people out for not showing up to team meetings and then throw 3 interceptions the next week. It just seems like nothing's going right in Miami, whether it's the coaching or the players or the general manager bringing in the right players. And it looks like the Dolphins are going to be sellers coming up at the trade deadline. Putting that all together, it's likely that Mike McDaniel will be the next coach fired. I think if the Falcons really beat the Dolphins bad in this one, it'll be McDaniel's last game as head coach. And I do think the Falcons will beat the Dolphins pretty good in this one. I think Bijan Robinson has a huge game on the ground. The Dolphins haven't been able to stop running backs all year long, and they're facing the best one in the NFL right now. I think the Falcons get up early, although I do think Devon Achane, the Dolphins running back, is going to have a good game as well in this one, whether it's receiving or on the ground. Although I do think a lot of those yards come in garbage time when the Dolphins are down. So in looking at this, we are going to take the Falcons to get the win at home, and we're going to take their spread -7. This also looks to be a good game to bet props on, whether it's Bijan Robinson's rushing or Devon Achane total yards. Now we have the New York Jets on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals. And looking at this game, it looks like it's going to be Flacco versus Tyrod Taylor. It seems that the Jets have benched Justin Fields. And even though I think Fields is probably a better quarterback, it's time for a change in New York. They haven't really been able to do anything right on offense. And I do think they play a little bit better in this game against a Cincinnati defense that's not all that great. But a key factor in this one is going to be T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I talked in previous videos about Joe Flacco joining the Bengals and how I was excited that he would be able to push the ball downfield to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. We're seeing that start to come to light, and I think that continues in this game. They also have home field advantage, which if this game was in New York, I would be a little concerned. But I think all those factors combined, the Bengals end up getting the win in this one. Although we are going to pass as far as betting goes, it still is two teams with a few question marks playing each other. So we're going to stay away completely, although you could look at T. Higgins or Jamar Chase's props. All right, so now we have the Chicago Bears traveling to Baltimore to play the Ravens. This is Caleb Williams versus Lamar Jackson in his return. I think it's a big deal for this Ravens offense, and I'm sure Derrick Henry is happy. Defenses have really been able just to key in on him and stop the run whenever they play this team without Lamar. And now that he's back, it'll keep their offense more balanced and keep the defense honest. These linebackers won't be able to just fly downhill and stop the run. They'll have to respect the pass. And this offense also misses Lamar's rushing ability as well. Another big factor in this one will be the turnovers. I think this one will turn into a shootout, and the Bears could keep it close if they don't turn the ball over. They are going up against a Ravens defense that has been at the bottom of the league in a lot of statistics so far throughout this season. But if they can take care of the ball, I think they stay in this one, which is why we are going to take the Ravens to win the game, but we are not going to take the spread. I think it was either at 6 or 7. But we will be looking to the props, particularly Derrick Henry's rushing yards. But overall, we will take the Ravens to get the win at home. Okay, we have an interesting one here. We got the Bills traveling to Carolina to play the Panthers. The Bills are coming off a tough loss, and the Panthers have been playing well as of late. But I think Josh Allen really takes this game over. The Panthers kind of been up and down all year, and with them being up so much, I think they're kind of due for a down game against a really good football team. And the key for both teams in this one is going to be able to get the ground game going. The Panthers have been able to run the ball really effectively, really getting it going with Rico Dowdle. He's having an amazing season. They also have Chuba Hubbard back in the lineup. But I'm in the camp that if Rico's really run the ball that well, you keep giving him carries. Chuba Hubbard's a great player, but you can't take the ball out of Rico's hands. And then for the Bills, you really have to get James Cook going. The passing game has been a little bit off, and Josh Allen doesn't really have that great of receivers to throw the ball to. So they do need to get the ball going on the ground with James Cook. And I think they do that in this one. And the Bills bounce back after a tough loss last week, beat the Panthers on the road, and cover the spread. And I do think this would be a good game to bet the rushing yards for both teams and the players I talked about. So looking at this one, we have the 49ers on the road against the Houston Texans. So in looking at these two teams, you have the Niners, who have been playing pretty well even without a lot of their starters. Now they do have George Kittle back in the lineup. The Texans haven't beat a good team all year. Their only wins have come against bad teams, and they really just cannot protect C.J. Stroud. I think this is a huge game for Christian McCaffrey. You saw the impact that George Kittle has in the run game, blocking, last week when Christian McCaffrey had a huge game. I think he continues that, and he also gets it done through the air in the receiving game against a really good Texans defense. Then we have Matt Jones versus C.J. Stroud. Matt Jones has been playing pretty well, and he's done enough to help his team win a lot of these games. And then Stroud, who hasn't been playing well, but also has been let down a lot by the weapons around him. It looks like he's going to be without Nico Collins in this game, and that leads us right to the defensive matchup. The Texans have one of the best defenses in the NFL, and the Niners have a good defense, but are missing a lot of their leaders, such as Fred Warner. I still think the Niners do enough against this Texans defense to get a lead and then just run the ball effectively with Christian McCaffrey. It's going to be a similar story to the Seahawks game this past week, where the Texans really couldn't get anything going on offense, and I think the Niners win this one on the road. However, we are going to pass on this one. The line is a little weird with the Texans being favored by 1 point, so we are going to stay away from that, and we'll stay away from props in this one. So this is another interesting one. We got the Giants going to Philadelphia. This will be round 2. They just played 2 weeks ago against each other, but the Giants really dominated the game. Cam Scatterboo and Jackson Dart had a great game, and the Giants' pass rush really got after Jalen Hurts in this Philadelphia offense. They also did a good job in limiting Saquon in the run game. And those are the same key factors in this game as well. Scatterboo had 98 yards and 3 touchdowns in the last matchup, and Jackson Dart had 13 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown as well. If the Eagles want to stay in this game, they cannot let that happen again. I think they really need to get Saquon Barkley going and have more of a balanced attack on offense. Saquon hasn't had the best start to the season, but we all know what type of running back he is, and he can get going at any time. This Giants defensive line is really talented. They're really good at rushing the passer and stopping the run, and the way to beat that is playing balanced and being able to throw the ball as well. Even though I love this New York Giants team and they've really been playing well, I think this Eagles team that has won the Super Bowl in the past and been to Super Bowls makes the adjustments and ends up beating the Giants at home. We will bet on this game. We're going to stay away from the spread because the matchup is really good. Maybe Saquon rushing yards, or maybe some prop bets with Jackson Dart or Scatterboo. But we will stay away from the spread, and we will just pick the Eagles to win at home. All right, another good one. We got the Browns traveling to New England to play the Patriots. The Patriots have been playing some really good football as of late. Drake May has really been rolling. He's looking like a top 5 quarterback this year so far. But they are going up against a really good Browns defense. The Browns can stop the run, they can rush the passer, and they're really good in coverage as well. And the one thing the Patriots haven't been able to do this year is run the ball consistently. I think that can be a big problem for them in this game. And the Browns will likely force Drake May to have to air it out for a lot of this game. And on the other side of the ball, if the Browns can continue to feed Quinshon Judkins, I think he'll have a lot of success on the ground against this Patriots team. They have not been able to stop the run very consistently throughout the year, and that's the Browns' recipe to win games. So I think ultimately the Browns keep this game close. The Patriots have been playing so well and are on a high right now. I think the Browns kind of bring them back down to reality a little bit and make this a close one. But given that this is in Foxborough, I'm going to say the Patriots end up squeaking it out. I just don't believe in this Browns passing attack. I don't really believe in Dylan Gabriel. I'd be a little bit more worried if this was Flacco or even maybe Shedeur Sanders. So for that reason, we are going to pass as far as betting goes on this game, but we are going to take the Patriots to get the win at home. All right, so taking a look at this one, we have the Buccaneers traveling to New Orleans to play the Saints. This is a divisional matchup. The Bucs and the Saints are both coming off tough losses, but the Saints have been pretty spicy this year. Even though they've lost most of their games, they've been able to hang around with teams and make it close at the end. And they did end up beating the Giants, who look like a pretty good team right now. The big storyline in this one will be Baker Mayfield and Emeka Egbuka. With Mike Evans going down in his first game back, it's back on Ibuka's shoulders. He also is coming off a hamstring injury, and he didn't look his full self on Monday Night Football. So some of the other receivers had to step up, including guys like Tez Johnson. If the Saints want a chance in this one, they're going to have to run the ball effectively. But this Bucs run defense is one of the best in the league, and I think they'll limit Kamara. I think the Bucs bounce back in this one, but I will stay away from the spread because they are so banged up and the Saints can hang around. But this will be a good game to bet props. I think Emeka Egbuka's over will be a good bet. I think Rachaad White rushing yards would also be a good bet. So we are going to take the Bucs on the road here. So now we got the Titans traveling to Indianapolis to play the Colts. So a big thing in this game is going to be takeaways. If the Titans want to stay in this game, they cannot give the ball away. The Colts are probably one of the best offenses in the league right now. Jonathan Taylor, I believe, has 12 touchdowns. He had 3 touchdowns back-to-back weeks. And the Colts are at home again this week. And Jonathan Taylor has been playing at an MVP type of level. The Titans are in a bad spot. They had to fire their head coach. They don't really have the weapons around Cam Ward for him to be successful yet. Their defense isn't really that good. And the Colts have been playing at a historic level on offense. I think they run away with this one. So we are going to take them minus 11.5 at home in this one. We're going to take them to win, obviously. But we are going to stay away from the prop bets. If the Colts get up early, you could see them take some of their guys out of the game. And then maybe you would think, oh, we'll take the Titans to have some garbage time yards, and maybe that's where we can hit some prop bets. But I just do not trust this Titans offense to move the football at any point in this game. So we're going to stay away from props. We're going to take the Colts minus 11.5 and for them to win at home. Another good football game here. We got the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Denver to play the Broncos. You're really going to start with this Broncos defense. They've been really good all year. They struggled a little bit last week against the New York Giants, but they just have so much talent. I think they'll bounce back in this game at home. But they are playing a really good offense. Dak Prescott has been playing really, really good this year. They just got CeeDee Lamb back. George Pickens has been playing well. And this is a revenge game for Javonte Williams. Going up against his old team, I think he'll have something to prove, and he'll run the ball well in this one. If the Broncos want to win this game, they cannot start flat. This Cowboys offense will keep rolling all the way throughout the game. The concern with them is their defense. They have been bad all year. I think the Broncos, even though they've been playing bad on offense, will have success against that defense. So I think the key is which team can get it going early. If the Cowboys do, I think they'll stay ahead and end up winning this game. If the Broncos do, I think they have a chance to hang around. But I do think the Cowboys will win this one on the road. So we are going to take them to win and also take them plus 3.5. I think this is also a great game to bet some props on. It'll be a really good matchup. CD versus Pat Surtain II. You could also look at maybe some of the Broncos running backs in this one. Maybe J.K. Dobbins gets going. I think there's props all over this game that you could take. That'll be good. And again, we'll have those down in the comments later this week. This is another very interesting game. The Green Bay Packers on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the big story in this game will be Green Bay's pass rush, but also Pittsburgh's pass rush as well. If Green Bay can really get after Aaron Rodgers, we know that he is not the most mobile quarterback in the world. So if you can affect him, that'll be a huge deal in this game for this Green Bay defense. Also on the other side, they have TJ Watt. TJ Watt can wreck games on his own. If he has a huge game, I can see the Steelers potentially pulling this one out. And that leads us to what can stop the pass rush in the running game. If Josh Jacobs and Jalen Warren get going, they can limit the pass rush for both sides. Warren's coming off a really good game, probably his best of the year, and Josh Jacobs has been pretty good all year, but you still want to see him in this Green Bay offense play a little bit more consistently. And I think both running backs will get it going in this game and will have a big impact. And that leads us to Green Bay's receivers. I have a little bit more trust in Green Bay's receivers than DK Metcalf and some of the other Steelers receivers, and that is why we are going to take Green Bay to win this game. I think Green Bay is just a little bit more diverse in what they can do as a team, but they are playing a good team in the Steelers, and I think this one could be close, so we will stay away from the spread, but this could be a good game to bet some props on, maybe Jacobs rushing, Warren's rushing, so we will take Green Bay getting the win on the road. All right, so here we have the last game of the slate. We have the Commanders going to Arrowhead to play the Chiefs. The key factors in this game is Jayden Daniels. If he cannot go in this one, which it looks like he's not going to be able to, it'll be Marcus Mariota. And I just don't think playing on the road in Arrowhead is ever a good thing for a backup quarterback. Also just saw the Chiefs absolutely dominate the Raiders. They shut them out and also won 31-0. A big reason for that is the return of Rashee Rice. While he didn't have a ton of yards, which is what I predicted last week, he did get in the end zone twice, and I think the Chiefs made it a point to get him the football. This Chiefs offense is really clicking on all cylinders right now, and I think they continue it against a Commanders team that's playing without a lot of their starters. At home, this Chiefs defense really steps up again as they just shut out the Raiders, and they make it really tough for Mariota and this whole offense to get it going. I think the only chance the Commanders have is if they could get the running game going, and I just don't think they're going to be able to keep this game close, and Mariota's going to have to air it out. And I think he turns the ball over a few times. The Chiefs end up winning this game. We're also going to take them to cover, but I do think this is a game where you might stay away for some props, similar to the Colts game. They might get up a lot and early and kind of take some of their guys out, or maybe they take their foot off the gas a little bit. So we are going to stay away from the props. So if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe. It really goes a long way in helping this channel grow. Also, down in the comments, drop your picks for the week and any prop bets that you think will hit this week. And please check back later in the week for all the prop bets and maybe some alternate parlays I'll be dropping in the comments. That's all I got for you in this one, and I'll see you next week.